am Dr. Health Tips, and today we're going to talk about one of the most beloved so-called superfoods in the world, walnuts. But before we dive in, let me be clear, walnuts are great. No argument there. They're rich in omega-3s packed with antioxidants and linked to better brain health, heart health, and reduced inflammation. That's why so many people over 60 add them to their daily routine. But here's the catch. Just because something is healthy doesn't mean it's helping you. In fact, many seniors unknowingly eat walnuts in ways that reduce their benefits, or worse, create new health risks. So if you've been adding walnuts to your meals or snacks, thinking you're doing the right thing, but you're not seeing results, this episode is for you. Thank you, Mark. I'm very happy to be here. And yes, walnuts are a wonderful food, but they are not magic. No food is good in isolation. The body doesn't respond to single ingredients alone. It responds to context, timing, and the right pairings. I've seen many older adults eat walnuts daily and still struggle with inflammation, bloating, or energy crashes, not because walnuts are bad, but because they were eaten the wrong way or at the wrong time or with the wrong foods. That's why today we're going to share the 5 most dangerous mistakes people over 60 make when eating walnuts, and just as importantly, how to fix them easily so you can get 100% of the benefits without the downsides. We're talking practical tips, science-backed advice, and simple changes you can make starting today, right in your own kitchen. And if you eat walnuts regularly but aren't sure you're doing it right, like, subscribe and share this episode with someone who could benefit too. Let's make sure every bite truly helps your body, not hurts it. There's no denying it, walnuts are one of nature's most powerful superfoods. When used correctly, they offer an incredible range of benefits, especially for people over 60. They're one of the richest plant sources of omega-3 ALA, which is known to reduce inflammation, protect the heart, and support healthy cholesterol levels. They're also high in polyphenols, potent antioxidants that help protect your blood vessels, joints, and brain cells from oxidative stress. But that's not all. Walnuts naturally contain melatonin, which helps regulate sleep, making them a great evening snack for those struggling with insomnia or light sleep. They also provide essential minerals like magnesium, copper, and manganese, which are critical for bone strength, energy production, and metabolic health. In short, walnuts are brain food, heart food, and sleep food all in one. But here's the catch. Too much of a good thing or pairing it the wrong way can actually backfire. And for older adults, that backfire can show up as fatigue, bloating, or even metabolic dysfunction. Yes, Mark, and that's the key. I've seen so many older patients treat walnuts like a miracle snack. But especially after 60, our digestive and metabolic systems become more sensitive. Even small mistakes like eating walnuts on an empty stomach or combining them with sugar can cause surprising effects like bloating, inflammation, indigestion, or even lipid imbalance in the blood. It's not about avoiding walnuts, it's about respecting how the body works as we age. When you understand that, and when you learn to pair walnuts with the right foods, in the right amounts at the right time, that's when you unlock their true power. So in the next part, we'll reveal the 5 most dangerous mistakes older adults make with walnuts, and we'll help you fix each one starting today. Let's kick things off with the first mistake, and it's a big one. Eating walnuts when your stomach is empty, or eating too many at once. You might think, wait, isn't it good to start the day with something healthy? Yes, but only if your body is ready to handle it. I see this all the time. Older patients who are trying to do the right thing, they wake up, drink a little water, and then pop 10 or even 15 walnuts into their mouth. They say it's for my brain, for my heart. I want all the benefits, but here's the problem. Walnuts are rich in fat, healthy fat, yes, but fat. Nonetheless, when your stomach is empty and your digestion is still slow from sleep, this sudden load of fat can overwhelm the gut. What happens next? Bloating, discomfort, sluggishness, even mild diarrhea. Exactly. Mark. And let's not forget something most people overlook: the phytates in walnuts. The thin brown skin that coats each walnut contains phytic acid, a natural compound that can block your body's ability to absorb certain minerals, especially iron, calcium, and zinc. That becomes a big issue when you eat walnuts alone, especially before you've had anything else. For seniors, this is even more critical. As we age, our digestive enzymes weaken, the lining of our gut becomes more sensitive. That means small things like phytates on an empty stomach can have a bigger impact, leading to nutrient loss over time without you even realizing it. And if you have IBS or a sensitive digestive system, the chance of discomfort or inflammation goes up even more. So here's how to fix it first. Never eat walnuts first thing in the morning by themselves. If you love having them in the morning, no problem. Just pair them with something warm and gentle. Think oatmeal, soft eggs, or even a banana. Second watch, your portion. The recommended amount is about 5 to 7 whole walnuts per day. That's a small handful. It's more than enough to give you omega-3s, antioxidants, and all the other nutrients without overloading your digestion. And third, consider dividing your daily amount into 2 smaller portions, one mid-morning, one in the afternoon. That gives your body time to absorb and process the nutrients more efficiently. And please slow down when you eat. Don't rush your walnuts, chew them well, feel their texture. Let your saliva begin the digestive process before they even reach your stomach. This small habit improves nutrient absorption and reduces the digestive burden. Remember, after 60, your body isn't asking for more food, it's asking for smarter food, and walnuts, when eaten wisely, can be your ally. But timing and moderation are everything next. Here's a mistake that sounds innocent, even healthy, but can quietly lead to major problems. A lot of people love tossing walnuts into a spinach salad, blending them with beet juice, or eating them alongside peanuts and lemony dressings. It looks clean, plant-based, and heart-friendly. But for seniors, this kind of food combination may be setting you up for kidney stress and even kidney stones. Yes. And this is something I've seen many times in patients over 60. They start eating healthier, more nuts, more greens, but they don't realize some combinations cancel each other out or create new risks. The kidneys, especially in older adults, are often working harder to filter waste and maintain mineral balance. If you already have reduced kidney function or even a history of kidney stones, combining walnuts with oxalate-rich foods is like adding fuel to a quiet fire. Even lemon juice, often squeezed over spinach salads, contains citric acid, which may increase absorption of oxalate in some cases when combined with high-fat nuts. So while your salad might look beautiful and Instagram-worthy, it could be forming tiny crystals that your kidneys have to struggle to flush out. So how do we avoid this without giving up walnuts or greens completely? Here's what's really happening behind the scenes. Foods like spinach, beets, and peanuts are naturally high in a compound called oxalate or oxalic acid, and walnuts are rich in calcium, particularly the form that binds easily in the gut. When you eat these two types of foods together, high oxalate and high calcium, they combine in your digestive tract and form calcium oxalate crystals. These crystals are not easily absorbed or excreted, and in some people they can build up in the kidneys, leading to painful kidney stones. First, don't combine walnuts in the same meal with spinach, beets, peanuts, or other high oxalate foods. Spread them out during the day. For example, have walnuts in a morning snack and your leafy greens in a lunch or dinner salad, just not together. Second, stay hydrated. The more water you drink, ideally 2 to 2.5 liters per day, the better your kidneys can flush out oxalate and prevent those crystals from forming in the first place. And third, choose low oxalate vegetables that are still rich in nutrients. Things like bell peppers, broccoli, or cooked kale are excellent replacements. You still get antioxidants, fiber, and vitamin C, but without the oxalate load. And remember, it's not about fearing food, it's about understanding how food works inside a mature body. After 60, your organs are more sensitive. They need you to be smarter, not stricter. So keep eating walnuts, but let's make sure they're supporting your kidneys, not stressing them. Now move on to the third mistake that's surprisingly common. And honestly, it's one of the easiest to fall into. Many people over 60 are eating flavored walnuts without realizing the hidden risks. I'm talking about the ones that are salted, honey roasted, caramel coated, or even deep roasted with added oils. They look shiny, they taste delicious, and they're marketed as snacks. But what they really are is nutrition sabotage. You might be thinking, well, it's still walnuts. It can't be that bad, right? But when you take a naturally anti-inflammatory food and coat it with sugar salt or expose it to high heat, you're not just reducing the benefits, you're turning it into a source of inflammation and metabolic stress. That's true, Mark. And I've seen many older adults in Japan and around the world make this mistake without knowing it. They say, I eat walnuts every day, but when I look closely, they're eating the ones from a commercial package, often with salt, sugar, and preservatives already added. Let's look at what happens inside the body. When you eat walnuts coated in sugar, you spike blood glucose and insulin levels, especially if you eat them between meals. That sugar fuels chronic inflammation, which directly fights against the natural anti-inflammatory properties of walnuts. It's like pressing the brake and the gas pedal at the same time. And when they're coated in salt, especially in large amounts, you raise your blood pressure, retain water, and put more pressure on the heart and kidneys. That's especially dangerous for seniors with hypertension or heart disease. But the worst part, maybe how they're cooked. Most commercial walnuts are roasted at very high temperatures, sometimes over 180 or even 200 Celsius. That heat damages the delicate, unsaturated fats inside the nut. Causing oxidation, oxidized fats become pro-inflammatory, meaning they can actually accelerate aging and damage your blood vessels and joints. So what's the solution? Simple, always choose raw, unsalted, unflavored walnuts whenever possible. If you prefer the flavor of roasted nuts, that's fine. Just roast them lightly at home. Using low heat around 160 to 170 Celsius for no more than 10 minutes is ideal. That's enough to bring out the aroma without destroying the good fats and antioxidants, and avoid bulk bins or packaged nuts that don't list ingredients clearly. If you see sugar, maltodextrin, corn syrup, natural flavor, or vegetable oils, put it back. And if you enjoy a little flavor, try natural options. Mix your walnuts with a few herbs, a sprinkle of cinnamon, or a bit of matcha powder. These add taste without harm. The key here is to treat walnuts as real food, not as a processed snack after 60. Your body needs clean, whole nutrition, not hidden additives that undo the benefits. All right, let's talk about a mistake that almost no one thinks about: how you store your walnuts. It sounds minor, right? But the truth is, this simple detail can decide whether walnuts become a healing food or a hidden toxin. Many people keep their walnuts in pretty glass jars or sealed bags, leaving them at room temperature for months. It looks neat on the shelf, but walnuts are not like rice or oats. They're packed with delicate, unsaturated fats, and those fats are fragile. They break down fast when exposed to air heat or sunlight. So while you think you're saving a healthy snack, what's actually happening is a slow process of oxidation that turns those healthy fats rancid exactly. And what's worse is what those oxidized fats become inside the body. They form compounds called lipid peroxides, and these act like tiny sparks of rust, damaging your cells, inflaming your arteries, and silently accelerating aging. At the same time, the good stuff in walnuts, vitamin E and polyphenols, gets destroyed too. So instead of reducing inflammation, your daily handful may now be feeding inflammation. And here's something even more concerning. Many older adults can't smell rancid nuts anymore. With age, our sense of smell dulls. So when the nuts turn bitter or oily, most people don't notice they keep eating them day after day, thinking they're nourishing their heart and brain, while in fact they're adding oxidative stress to their system. Now here's the fix, and it's surprisingly easy once you open a bag or crack the shells. Store walnuts in an airtight container and place them in the refrigerator, ideally below 10 Celsius. That single move slows oxidation dramatically. Even better, finish them within 3 to 4 weeks after opening. If you buy large quantities, divide them and freeze what you won't use, soon taking out small portions when needed. Freezing locks in freshness and protects those good omega-3 fats. And one more thing, always trust your senses. If the walnuts smell sharp, taste bitter, or feel greasy, toss them out immediately. Let's wrap up with a mistake that many health-conscious people don't even realize they're making. It's the idea that walnuts are such a perfect food. They can completely replace all other sources of healthy fat. I've had patients tell me they stopped eating fatty fish, olive oil, or flax seeds because they were getting all their omega-3s from walnuts. But that's a misunderstanding of how the body actually uses plant-based fats. Walnuts are indeed rich in alpha-linolenic acid, which is a type of omega-3, but ALA is just the raw material your body still needs to convert it into the active forms of omega-3, DHA, and EPA. And unfortunately, that conversion process is inefficient, especially as we get older. In short, storing walnuts correctly is a small habit with big rewards. Protect their structure, and you protect yourselves. After 60, every choice matters, even where you keep your nuts. Yes. And what's more important is that the body often converts less than 5% of ALA into usable DHA and EPA. So even if you're eating a generous handful of walnuts each day, you may still be functionally deficient in the omega-3s your brain and heart need most. And here's the bigger issue: when you eat lots of walnuts, but continue consuming omega-6 rich foods such as processed oils or snack foods, you actually create an imbalance between omega-6 and omega-3. That imbalance fuels chronic inflammation, especially in people with joint pain, arterial stiffness, or autoimmune conditions. After 60, that low-grade inflammation becomes more dangerous because the body doesn't repair itself as quickly. That's right. Omega-3s, from fish like salmon or sardines, or from flaxseed oil and extra virgin olive oil, provide those ready-to-use forms DHA and EPA that actually reduce inflammation and protect your blood vessels. Walnuts are a beautiful complement, but they can't do it alone. So instead of putting all your trust in one food, think of your fat sources as a team. Walnuts give you antioxidants and plant-based support, but oily fish give you the heavy-duty anti-inflammatory firepower your aging body really needs. And portion size matters here too. I've seen people snack on large bowls of walnuts thinking they're avoiding unhealthy fats, but end up gaining weight or developing digestive issues. The sweet spot is around 5 to 7 whole walnuts per day. That's enough to get the benefits without overwhelming the liver, gallbladder, or metabolism. And don't forget, variety is medicine. Add flax seeds to your oatmeal drizzle, olive oil on your vegetables, enjoy grilled sardines once a week. Each one supports your body in a different way. So to sum it up, walnuts are excellent, but they're not a replacement for everything else. After 60, your body needs a balanced blend of healthy fats to reduce inflammation, protect your brain, and support your heart. Walnuts can be part of that plan. Just don't let them be the whole plan. Now that we've talked about what not to do, let's focus on how to make walnuts truly work for you. And that starts with timing. Believe it or not, when you eat walnuts matters almost as much as how many you eat. One of the best times to enjoy walnuts is mid-afternoon around 2 to 3 p.m. At this point in the day, your body often needs a gentle boost. Energy starts to dip, blood sugar can fluctuate, and for many people, it's still too early for dinner. That's where walnuts shine. A small serving around 7. Walnut halves is perfect. It gives you just enough healthy fat, protein, and fiber to support your brain and stabilize your mood without overwhelming your digestion or interfering with upcoming meals or medications. Yes? And I often recommend pairing walnuts with a digestive-friendly food like a crisp apple or a few spoonfuls of Greek yogurt. The fruit adds fiber and hydration. While the yogurt provides probiotics and protein together, this combination supports gut health, blood sugar balance, and mental clarity. 3 areas that are essential for healthy aging. And here's a professional tip that makes a big difference. Gently roast the walnuts for about 5 minutes on low heat before eating. This helps release the natural oils and aroma of the nut, making them easier to digest and far more enjoyable. But don't overcook them. High heat will destroy the delicate omega-3s. It's such a small habit, but it adds up because eating isn't just about nutrients. It's about rhythm and mindfulness. When you give your body the right food at the right time in the right way, the impact is bigger than you think. And the key here is consistency. If you make walnuts a gentle, intentional part of your daily routine, you give your body a message of stability over time. Your energy becomes more steady, your mind clearer, and your inflammation lower. Eating for longevity isn't about big dramatic changes. It's about small, wise adjustments done daily, and choosing the right moment for your walnuts may be one of the most important ones. I want to say that to wrap up. Walnuts can be your best friend or your silent enemy. It all depends on how you eat them. They're packed with powerful nutrients, but like any tool, they have to be used with care, especially after 60. Every small decision adds up. One mistake, repeated daily, can either support your health or quietly sabotage it. I've always said, food is either your slow medicine or your slow problem. Walnuts, if used wisely, can absolutely be a food that supports longevity. But if eaten carelessly, they can contribute to inflammation, poor digestion, or nutrient imbalance. So let's make sure they work for you, not against you. So here's what we want you to remember. Avoid those 5 common mistakes. Use the smart combinations we talked about. And if you can soak or gently roast your walnuts before eating, your body will thank you for it, and keep it simple. One small mindful change in how you eat walnuts could support your brain, your heart, and even your sleep. That's the power of timing and awareness. If this episode helped you or made you think twice about how you're using walnuts, share it with someone you care about. Maybe it's your spouse, your neighbor, or a friend who snacks on walnuts every day but never thought about the how. And tell us, have you made any of these mistakes? Or maybe you've already found your own smart way to enjoy walnuts? We'd love to hear what you're changing starting today.